Coming to paperback and e-readers everywhere, East-themed horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewoman in this action-packed, all-new East-themed series adventure. Pre-order your copy of East-themed horror of the Hyena Woman on Amazon.com today. Today, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences decided to give out its punishment to actor Will Smith for slapping comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars. And the punishment they have decided to give your Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars is that he won't be able to attend the Academy Awards for 10 years. Where's the punishment? And the reason why I say where's the punishment is because your Will Smith is the one who's going to benefit in the long run, because he won't have to go to this pretentious woke fest for the next 10 years. Now, the Academy thinks that they're punishing your Will Smith, but I can see where your Will Smith is going to receive a ton of benefits from not being able to go to this dying award show. Now, the Oscars back in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s were a big thing, but these days the Academy Award is turning into an ancient relic. And it's turning into a relic because in these days where your Academy and Hollywood are out to show us how woke they are, we're starting to see that the only types of films that they celebrate are these pretentious art house films that nobody even watches. So your Will Smith is actually benefiting because over the next 10 years, he's not going to have to go out here and put on a tuxedo and get dressed up to go to an award show that most of America stopped watching and most of America stopped caring about, because the only reason why the Oscars actually saw a bump in the ratings was because of the whole fiasco where your Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Because over the last 3 to 5 years, Oscar ratings have been under 9 million viewers, and with such a low viewership, most people in America no longer care about the Academy Awards. So Will Smith, at the end of the day, hasn't lost anything by being banned from the Academy Awards for the next decade. If anything, when I take a look at the direction that the Academy Awards is going in, we may not even have an Academy Awards in the next 10 years if the ratings continue to slide the way they've been sliding lately, because the Golden Globes, which was considered one of the major awards many years ago, has practically become so irrelevant that it's practically become an internet show at this point. So your Will Smith practically isn't losing anything. If it's anything, the Academy is the one that's losing, because with your Will Smith no longer in consideration for this award, nobody is going to care about the Academy Awards at this point. So you have all of these people in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences thinking that they're going to go out here and put the full force of white supremacy on Will Smith, but this is going to backfire on them because they're not looking at the big picture of how irrelevant this award has become. Because this Academy Award is no longer the gold standard as related to film, and in fact, your film and Hollywood has practically starting to become more and more less relevant to the average everyday American. Because most Americans, after going through things like the pandemic and long-term unemployment, they have other priorities that are far more important than worrying about some Hollywood star who receives some award for playing whatever role that allows them to fit into the black box that is acceptable to white people. Because the only black people who receive awards for this show, in most cases, are for playing slave roles, playing black brutes, playing black Jezebels, or playing mammies. So I have washed my hands with the Academy Awards for over a decade and a half, and I could have cared less about whatever black person won that award because most black people don't really win for playing positive roles. And the only time we saw a black person win for playing a positive role was this year when we saw Will Smith finally win a Best Actor award for playing the role of Richard Williams. But now that they're punishing a black man for going out here and acting a fool at the lowest rated Oscars ever, I have even less incentive to go out here and watch these Oscars ever again. And your Will Smith has no reason to participate in these Oscars anymore because now that they've banned him for 10 years, he can now get on with the rest of his life, and now he can just go and plan something fun for that Sunday with him and his homies, and hopefully he will be single and divorced Jada Pinkett at this point, so he can really go out here and have some fun because on that Sunday, usually I find myself something else to do because I've got more important things in my life to do than sit here and watch some bunch of pretentious rich people go out here and start making speeches telling me about how I should live when these people went out here and make all sorts of moral compromises to go get themselves the awards that they're nominated for and play the roles that they got to receive those nominations, to receive that golden statue. So I've got more to do than listen to some pretentious group of actors sitting there making a whole bunch of speeches congratulating themselves for starring in some movie that they practically had rewritten from another screenwriter and celebrating themselves. And your Will Smith being banned for 10 years is not even something that I am even fazed about, and your Will Smith should not even be fazed about it either. And your reason why your Will Smith should not be fazed is because life is too short to get upset over something as trivial as being banned from an Academy Award show that most of America isn't even watching anymore. If anything, your Will Smith should be counting his blessings because, as I see it, he basically has been blessed because he no longer has to sit there and prepare to go and attend a show that nobody cares about except the elite in Hollywood, and nobody even gives a crap about anymore because the only films that get nominated for these awards these days are these art house films made by these pretentious directors who we will practically never ever hear of again, never see again, and the actors who win those awards basically go on to have no career at that point. So your Will Smith is actually benefiting at the end of the day by being barred from the Academy Awards, and I wouldn't even lose a bit of sleep over not being able to attend for the next 10 years, because at the rate the Academy Awards are declining in the ratings, the Academy Award will become as irrelevant as the Golden Globes have become, and soon it will be practically as forgettable as the Daytime Emmys. Anybody remember how big the Daytime Emmys were back in the 80s when the soap operas were at their peak? I mean, that was primetime TV from the 80s and the 90s, but by the 2010s, when all of the soap operas were canceled, no one cared about Daytime Emmys, and nobody cared because your networks canceled all of the soap operas, children's shows like Reading Rainbow, and Saturday morning cartoons, so that award became an irrelevant relic that it was no longer a measure of any standard of quality. So most people, they're sitting there thinking, oh, Will Smith has received some sort of superior punishment. Well, your white supremacist hasn't really hurt Will Smith in any way, shape, or form because they have no power over Will Smith at this point. Because if your Will Smith was thinking critically and in his right mind, he would be sitting there saying, oh, I have been blessed by God because I no longer have to deal with this irrelevant show, and I no longer have to get ready to attend an irrelevant show filled with people who are no longer going to be anything but a footnote in history. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my positive books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the Isis series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Smith Sorella trilogy. You can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Isis Legacy. The sorority secrets of the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new Isis series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Isis Legacy on Amazon.com today.